Good morning, Ohio. I'm in my Ohio sweatshirt again, which is the costume of my channel, it seems. It's just so comfy. I need to go back to this shop and get some more jumpers from them because I can't just always wear this. It's just so big and oversized. I love it. I'm about to head to the gym. My routines are working so well this week. This vlog has motivated me because this morning it's 8:15 and this morning I woke up at 6:30. I'm really like getting back to like, waking up early. I left my phone in here because I got into this weird habit of, because I was getting back into bed to do a little bit of work and journal, I was bringing my phone with me and then I was just kind of scrolling sometimes, which is not good. So I left my phone down here to charge. I'm trying not to charge my phone overnight because I saw this video on TikTok saying that it was like a fire hazard. Let me put my coffee on. And yeah, I left my phone down here and I went back upstairs. I did my 5-minute journal, sorry about the loud coffee machine, and I have done some like work bits that just needed to be done, like a couple emails. I've emptied my memory card, I've exported a little video for TikTok, and I've just done a little quick rejig of my drive where I store all my stuff, all my videos, all my, you know, everything. I just organised it because it was just getting a bit like, I looked at it every day and I was like, oh, this is a mess. I emptied my memory card, just like bits that I always put off. And I feel like doing that in the morning for me is so positive because the morning is when my brain is properly fired up. Maybe you can tell by my energy in videos in the morning. I am fired up in the morning. So doing like jobs like that, it's easy for me to do the hard stuff that I find boring because that's where my brain is, and I can like, I guess, be a bit more like, do what I want to do and get stuff done. I also did a brand concept and sent that off, so it's really, really positive. It really hypes me up for the day because then I can go to the gym when it's not busy and I feel like I've accomplished loads of things and I don't have that like anxiety about the day, having things, oh gosh, there's that thing that I've been putting off every day I need to get done. I just do those things. So really recommend that you figure out what time of day you work best at and like use that time to just do the stuff that's difficult, do the stuff that's you've been putting off, and like firing on all cylinders. When you are firing on all cylinders, use that time. I'm gonna go to the gym, back on my co-pilot hype. I think today we are doing upper body. Yep, upper body today. So we've got rows, pull downs, push up, bench presses, that kind of stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. I quite like upper body day. I feel like it's less intense to a lower body day. You don't get sweaty as much. And I feel like I've got a stronger upper body than I do a lower body, and I feel like I can lift quite heavy with my upper body and I feel quite impressive in the gym because I'm like, yeah, I can lift this and I'm a girl. Anyway, let's go. I've got all my stuff with me. I think I might nip into the garden centre as well on the way home because there's a place called Hale Plants, which I haven't been to in a really long time, and a couple of my indoor plants have died, sadly. There's a fern in our kitchen that has been trucking along for a while, but it's just looking a bit sad. I think I overwatered it, so I want to get a couple plants to replace them. And I'd quite like to get 1 or 2 things just, well, I don't know, I just want to go look at the garden centre. I'm doing that thing where I've got to the gym, I'm just sitting in the car. Enjoying my coffee. I think that's why, because sometimes when I make a coffee for the gym, I'll leave it in the car and then it's cold, so I waste half a coffee, and Alex always laughs about how every single coffee I drink, I always leave half of it, and I don't know why I do. I don't do it with tea because I love the taste of coffee. I don't really know why I stopped drinking it halfway. Maybe I need to just start making my coffees smaller. Like, I can literally do that on my machine. I just whack it up to the highest thing. Why is my brain sometimes, you know, like your brain, sometimes you realise like that's the most simple thing and then you've just not thought to do it. I've been really enjoying listening to the radio recently on my drives to the gym. It feels very like comforting and nostalgic, kind of like I'm on the bus or something. Like listening to Greg James or whatever, I really like him. It's just really relaxing. I don't know why. I've changed that because I used to always put my phone in, but then I got to the point where I was like, oh, I don't know what to play, and I would sit in the car for ages. So it's very nice. I haven't listened to the radio in a while. It's an enjoyable thing, I think. just nipped into Hale Plants. Jim was fab. And they have so much great stuff here if you live locally in West Cornwall. Hale Plants, they have this massive greenhouse filled with so much stuff. And I am going to come back. I didn't buy anything, but I'm going to come. They didn't have any ferns that were small enough. They only had like bigger ones, but they had loads of vegetables that were like already, you know, like seedlings. Are they called plugs? They're already on their way. They had like cabbage, they had broccoli, Brussels sprouts, sweet peas, normal peas. And so I think I'm going to come back here when the veg beds have started to be cleared a bit better, just to help me out because I don't have a greenhouse. I'm going to come back here and, you know, use some of that resource because they're really cheap. So that's a really nice thing to know, and it's inspired me to not put the pressure. I really appreciate those of you who've said, just, you know, take it easy, just plant whatever, don't worry about it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll come back here maybe in a couple of weeks or next week or something when the veg beds are a bit more clear. I just need less rain in order for me to properly clear them out. Lots of you did say that actually Charles Dowding, I need to start watching his YouTube channel more for all this information, but he said that you can just put compost down on top of the weeds in the winter as a part of no dig. The issue with my veg beds, and I will do that on some of them, but the issue with them is there's grass growing on them and there's actual like big plants, so they have to come out. But I will keep that in mind, that I can like mulch over and just sort of pick them out when they need to, and maybe use the hoe just on the surface. Some of you have said that too, like no dig, you can use tools on the surface as long as you're not like disrupting everything. So maybe I'll be less delicate about it just so it can get done, and yeah, just do it week by week. It's exciting to think about. It's nice to go to the garden centre. It's very like relaxing. Look at me in my office again. I'm really loving my hair routine at the minute. I feel like I've nailed it. I feel like for a while I was getting annoyed that my hair wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. It's because I wasn't bothering. And it's just looking so good. If you didn't see my wavy hair routine, I'll link it because I did share it. But if you want a longer version on YouTube, then I'm happy to do that in another video because I feel like I haven't updated in a while, like a full step-by-step, because yeah, I'm just loving the way my hair is in a minute, and hopefully we can let it grow. I really would love it to be like long and wavy, like a proper hippie. I've got some work to do in the office. Have a meeting potentially today. It's kind of one of those things that they need to come back to me about something before the meeting, and then it's raining again. Apparently it's the wettest winter, maybe not on record, or in a very long time. Let me have a look. Like the wettest February for a really long time. Riverford posted about it. It's one of the wettest winters in decades in England, and I can really feel it because came home and I was like, oh, actually it's not raining right now. I could probably go outside, and now it's raining. And when it's wet like that, maybe I'll do some tidying out the front because the front is messy. How fascinating for you. I'm gonna get on with my work. I just wanted to show you, this is so nice for me, that because I've been so much better about eating like from scratch foods and not being lazy about what I'm eating and stuff, my fridge every day for lunch has been full of like an array of food, and this is without me doing like meal prep, quote unquote. This is just from me being sensible with what I'm cooking. So for example, last night what I made, I think I said this to you at the time, I cooked all of the broccoli and courgette so that I have that as a leftover thing. Same as yesterday, I cooked all of the tofu so that I would have it the next day. And it's something I really recommend if you're ever cooking and you know that you're going to be at home the next day and you know that you're going to be, you know, eating at home, then double up or cook extra of certain ingredients so that you have it like meal prepped without it actually being that kind of boring version of meal prep that you see from gym bros on the internet. Like meal prep can literally just be making double of something so you have the extra for the following day. So now I look in my fridge and I just have this just delicious array of foods that I can enjoy for lunch. So I can kind of have the same thing that I had yesterday, which was the rice and the cabbage with, oh, Alex's beer stuff, with the tofu, But Alex has also got bread. We've got a bit of mac and cheese that needs to be eaten. I don't want to go overboard though, because then you just end up with it being a bit too much. Actually, what I think I'll do, no, I think that this, I won't have that now. I think the mac and cheese needs to be eaten. So I'm just going to heat up this with the tofu and have it with some coleslaw and some sort of side bits and maybe a little bit of salad. Cooking from scratch, eating whole foods can become a challenge if you make it too fussy. It doesn't need to be fussy. And I was actually listening to a really interesting podcast this morning, Doctor's Kitchen, I think that's what it's called, and it was just a doctor talking, or a research medicine, a doctor, scientist. He was discussing like different things like alcohol, coffee, superfoods, all that kind of stuff. He's very balanced about the fact that there are lots of trends that come and go and you don't need to be blanketly like over the top about anything. So he was like, alcohol, it's not good for you, we know that, but obviously it's been a part of human nature and human culture since the beginning of time. So definitely you can involve it in your life when it comes to celebrations and that kind of thing. It's not going to do you harm. It's harmful when it becomes like a daily habit or something that you're using to like treat your depression or anxiety. The thing that I just remembered thinking about this, he was talking about the trends and the recent trend with mushroom powders. Something he said was so interesting, where he was like, you wouldn't go into, like, mushrooms are used medicinally in lots of different cultures, I think for a very long time. They're a medicinal mushroom. The ones that you eat, like the button mushrooms, the portobello mushrooms, the shiitake mushrooms, the edamame mushrooms, are very different from the medicinal ones. And like chaga mushrooms or is it tiger tail, all those kinds of ones that are now in different powders that people put in their coffees or their smoothies. He pointed out that like when they were used medicinally for certain ailments, they weren't taken out of a cupboard, taken out of like a little medicine thing and sprinkled on top of a salad. They were taken medicinally, like with a practitioner, and it would be done in a specific way for a specific problem. And you just need to be careful about using supplements and taking them because they're trendy or because someone said that they're good, because usually they're used for something very specific, and it's important to like monitor your use of them and not just mindlessly throw them into a smoothie. And I have been a symptom of that. I have followed trends and thought, oh, you know, I'll just chuck this in my smoothie, it's probably good for me because it's a superfood. You really don't have to do that, and it's actually kind of important to be mindful of that. Don't like too much of something can actually be bad for you. So there's a sweet spot where if you're eating lots of plants, you're getting into the kind of healthy eating, the whole foods, thinking about what all these superfoods are good for you, blah blah blah. There's an element of you have to keep in mind the balance, and in that zone, don't just fall for buzzwords and trends that come up. You need to stay in that kind of realm of you're not having it. So for example, if you think about like vegetables, if you ate loads and loads of broccoli, you'd probably feel quite sick and your stomach would probably hurt. We all know this. So you have a normal amount of it. So when you're having superfoods or when you're having foods that have been processed to a point of being added to your food as a supplement, just be mindful of the quantity of those things that you're consuming. I really try and focus on whole foods, whole ingredients first, and then all those other things, they are supplements. They shouldn't be an essential. You shouldn't need to have them every single day, or like there be huge quantities of them. Don't know how I got onto that, but I suppose I was just thinking of like the practicality of having lots of fresh food in your fridge. It can be very simple. And I suppose the reason that happens on the internet is because it's very like fun to be like, here's this new thing that's gonna like change your life, or here's this thing that's gonna like solve all your problems. It's just a lie. Focus on little things, little routines, and make it work for you, because there's no powder, there's no supplement that's gonna change everything. It's gonna be an overall like web of things that will help you. And you don't need to add everything in. You can simplify it. You can just cook things fresh from scratch each week, double up so you've got leftovers, eat seasonally, try and get your whole foods most of the time, and that can be the kind of end of it. So yeah, I want to be that influencer who's balanced and not extreme, because it's easy to fall for the extremes and it doesn't actually help any of us. Anyway, here's to balanced eating and meal prepping in a way that works. And I'm not adding any fancy pants, expensive ingredients. You can have them by all means. Like, I love my ashwagandha, I love my lovely teas, I love my protein powders, I love my maca powder, but it's more about understanding what they are and what they're used for and when they're helpful for you and if they are appropriate for you. And you actually don't need them necessarily, because all the other foods, like if you're following the mushroom trend, just eat more mushrooms. You know how much I love mushrooms. Just eat actual mushrooms. You'll get so many benefits. Good evening. I somehow managed to end up walking 7 kilometers just now. Alex and I are doing alternate days walking Roxy, and it's been such a positive change, because on the days when Alex is walking her, I can get on with my work and it's not like on my mind that I've got to take her out later, or I've got to take her out in the morning and I've got to fit it in. On the days when it's my turn, I have this freedom of, I didn't take that break yesterday and I've got all the work done. So I just can walk for as long as I want, and I can explore and I can listen to a really long podcast, and Roxy loved it. So that's a really nice positive change. I don't know, this week has been such a positive change for me. Sticking to these routines, starting new habits, moving into the spring season on this positive note. Let's see how long I keep it up. But I just have this really lovely feeling that everything is going to change for me and things are looking more positive. I think it's when you have bad mental health and you start to piece things together and start to kind of try and get out of that. It's a really lovely feeling. Still, obviously, I have bad days, but yeah, I'm just feeling like this week has really done wonders for my brain. And so I'm going to keep it up and I'm going to keep sharing it with you. Good afternoon. It's Friday. Yay! And I've been in the office just working away. It's 2:15 and I've got so much work done. I'm exporting a video and just waiting for that to be done. I'm trying this new thing. I tried it a long time ago. It never came to fruition, that I would kind of try and do my work during the week so that I could finish early. So I could try and do like a 4-day work week, which I'm just such a strong believer in. This kind of 5-day 9-to-5 work week it's a structure that was set up in the Industrial Revolution that doesn't necessarily have to be adhered to, especially if you're self-employed. If you think about what your tasks are for the week, then you can either spread them out across 5 days, or you can be more productive and more organised with your time and try and fit them in 4. Because actually, if you think about the amount of time spent, and if any of you work in office jobs, I'm sure there's so many hours in which you're not working fully, you're maybe concentrating less, and if it was the case that you had to do it in 4 days, they've done this experiment in other countries. I feel like they did it in the UK as well. But they've done this experiment with companies where they've reduced it to 4 days, and people have been just as, if not more productive, but their well-being and their sense of sort of performance and their sense of self and stress levels has reduced significantly. So I think the vast majority of the companies that took part in the experiment continued that layout. They didn't like reduce their salaries or anything, but they realised that the people who were working for them just felt so much better. So they kept it going, and it's something I'm really trying to implement. So I've kind of managed it this week. because it's 2 o'clock and I think I'm finished apart from vlogging. The only issue for me is vlogging. Like, vlogging is still work, but in order for the vlogs to be enjoyable, I kind of need to vlog during the week. Anyway, I need to vlog this weekend. I've just been planning my week ahead, and I'm really trying to be more organised, because I think a lot of my stress and anxiety comes from being disorganised with my time, and I'm being like more self-aware about how that's impacted me and trying to be more structured. So I think a lot of my anxiety at the weekends, or the anxieties I've shared with you about not being productive, result from the fact that I don't have structure, which is because of this job. I'm self-employed, I have my own business. So yeah, I'm trying to implement structure, routine, so that I can have days off and not feel guilty, and I can finish early and feel like, wow, I've achieved everything, go me, because I did it all in like a really productive manner and in a short space of time. So I think that as the weeks go on, I will manage to achieve that. It's just this week I've kind of done it, but I think that I'll get better basically as the weeks go on, and I will update you and see how it goes. I really want to have like weekends off completely, and I was just doing my calendar of like when I was filming and what content I have coming up, and I was putting stuff in the weekends, and I was like, what are you doing? Stop doing that, move it to the week. And I was like, oh no, but that means the week's really squished with other things. And it's like, well, that's just how it should be, because it's much better to be working like fully during the week than spreading it out across the week and not having the downtime. And this is what I'm talking about with being more structured. So very positive. Alex is at the dump, very exciting. It has been horrible weather, so stormy, so windy, and I'm just ready for spring. But it is the 1st of March, so spring is on the horizon. We're that much closer. I think it's only 20 days now, so we're nearly there. And I'm gonna make myself some lunch, and I think we're gonna go out this afternoon. My friend Fran is coming over later. We're having some pizzas and maybe watching a film. Alex is also going to the shop to get the pizza toppings. She will probably, I imagine she'll come over at like 6, between 6 and 7. So we were gonna go for like a dog walk and potentially walk to the pub, but it's weather dependent, because I walked Roxy for a long time yesterday. So it's weather dependent, and if it continues to be torrential, it's like sunny right now, but it keeps on having showers. So I'll see what Alex thinks when he gets home, but time to have some lunch. And I'm loving my outfit today. Trying to get like dressed every day to feel nice. I've got my Lucignac dungarees. I love these ones, these are cord. And I find it funny how low they go down on me, because I have to wear this so low so that they're not riding up because of the height of them. I've got my Nobody's Child like vest that I've got in, not vest, it's like a long sleeve top, I've got it in black as well. And then my linen fox shirt. I wonder, does it look weird with the top like that? Part of me thinks it does, part of me thinks it doesn't. Does it need to be like rolled up? I don't know. And I'm gonna make lunch. I have leftovers for lunch I think today. Good evening. Fran will be here in an hour, so I thought I should prep our pizza. We've got the pizza dough. This is from the Northern Dough Company. Of course, you can make your own. I've actually got a recipe in my cookbook for homemade pizza, but I couldn't be bothered today. I was too busy working, so it's easy just to grab pizza dough. We got this in Sainsbury's. So we're going for the Mutti pizza sauce. They've got the classic and they've got the garlic one. Red onion, I want red onion, mushroom. Ooh, sweet pepper drops, pepper drops. Olives, chilies, I think I'll just do red onion, mushroom, peppers, olives. Alex has got some of the cooking chorizo from Squeaky Bean. This is legit. Squeaky Bean and This Isn't do the best meat alternatives. They're so good. And then for cheese, we've got the mozzarella from Tesco, the Plant Chef one, and Cathedral City. And Fran asked for spinach and red pepper. So I'm just gonna prep all the little bits and put them in some bowls so we can make our pizzas when she gets here, so we can like assemble them, which is kind of a cute thing to do. So here is my incredible spread. I'm very excited about this. We've got the Mutti pizza sauce, a mixture of the mozzarella Cathedral City, wild garlic pesto, which is delicious. It's a little bitter, but I think that's because it's the start of the season. So the wild garlic that I would have picked is quite new. So I imagine it will start to taste a little bit better as time goes on, because that's the first wild garlic I've seen. Pepper, onion, mushroom, that chorizo, piri olives, though I might take those out. I'm not sure if I'm fancying a spicy pizza tonight. There's sweet pepper peppers, some pickled chilies for Alex's pizza, some spinach, extra sauce in case we need it, and then our pizza bases. I think that I'll get all of us to roll them out because it's fun. I always think it's enjoyable. I might move this away and so we can roll them out together. And now, what have I got to do next? Washing up. And I thought we could roll out the pizzas and then pick a film whilst we're making our pizzas and stuff and catching up and having a drink. I've got a couple beers in the fridge. And what a lovely way to end the week. I'm gonna roll the pizzas out. I know I said that I would wait for her to get here, but I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, so I may as well. So it says to flour the surface. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying this as if I've not done this many times before. I think you can use a rolling pin, but I feel like it's really not, you don't need a rolling pin. You can just stretch it. Do you want to have a go?
Sorry?
Do you want to do one?
Sure.
Good morning, it's Saturday and it's raining on and off. Oh my God. But I'm gonna go outside. Do you like my look? I feel like I need to get some different scarves because I saw this girl on Pinterest, I'll insert the picture, and she had a lovely scarf, but it was patterned. I feel like this one's a bit much because it's like a silky one. I've turned it inside out so that it doesn't look so intense, but when my hair is like wavy and I've spent time making it look nice, I don't want to just shove it in a ponytail. It feels nice to have your hair down and to preserve your nice waves that you spent time on. Here's Bobby again. So I thought it looked quite cute with the scarf, but I do think it would be better with a patterned scarf over this because I think this is a bit too like, I don't know, something about it looks a bit strange. But I've got my gardening gear on, got my Finisterre dungarees, which I was just moaning to Alex about how short they are, and that I just need to just start buying men's trousers and overalls and stuff because they're never long enough and it always annoys me because I'm walking around with my ankles out, freezing cold. It looks like it's about to pour with rain again. Literally, I just looked outside, it was sunny, and now I'm looking outside, there's a massive grey cloud, and I've arranged to see my sister this afternoon, and I asked her to change it to this morning because it's raining this morning, but she can't change it. So when it's raining, I can't go in the garden this morning, and now in the afternoon when it's going to be sunny, I'm going to be inside. Just perfect. I really want to do the veg beds every single day. I've wanted to do them, and every single day it has been pouring with torrential rain on and off. So you go outside and then 5 seconds later it's pouring with rain. And now I'm looking outside and I think the literal second I go out there, is that rain that's just gone, Alex, or is that rain that's coming?
I don't know. Why would I know that?
Forever a charmer.
Boy. Oh, wait, so there's a lot of it. Can you see where it's coming? No. Which way it's going?
No.
It's too. It's like really bright and also really dark rain clouds. It kind of looks like it's coming this way.
It's kind of the weather that you want to just curl up.
Should we do that?
No, I've just gotten my garden gear.
Yeah. You should get one of those hats that's an umbrella. Then you'd be
Or
fine.
I should just be in the rain and who cares?
I guess don't take the camera out.
No, I'm not going to. No, I'm just going to go out there and who cares if it rains? Then my whole cute scarf will be ruined anyway.
It's going to be one of those days where there might be like a few minutes shower And you can always nip in, nip back out. You just have to accept the ground's going to be
Bobby,
waterlogged.
we're just going to have to accept it. We're just going to have to accept it. She's going to get a haircut later because she's too fluffy. I mean, there's no such thing. I wish that she could just be this fluffy all the time, and if we lived in a city, I would keep her like this because it's adorable. But she gets so muddy on walks, she needs a haircut. I've changed, I've showered. We made so much progress outside. I'll put a picture here, but maybe I'll take you down there. I ditched the approach of doing it bit by bit, and I just went across every veg bed and took out all the big plants, because you guys are so helpful, and you were saying to just, you know, just rip everything out, use a hoe if you need to on the bits that are bigger. And realistically, as I plant, I'm going to be putting compost down, and I'm going to pull out the weeds as I go because it's turning to spring, so they're just going to be growing in abundance anyway. So it's really pointless me going in there carefully. So all the beds look way clearer now, and it's just a nicer vision for me to see what I can do down there. I also think I won't do the gravel for a little bit because it's been so wet, and if I go down there frequently enough and start planting, then the mud will hopefully stamp down some of the grass, rather than me having to physically go in and remove some grass and create that kind of ground. So if you have any recommendations of laying gravel on grassy areas, let me know. But I'm going to continue to just go down there, and hopefully the mud will stamp out lots of the grass. But I will reach a point where I'm going to have to put gravel down though, because it would be probably too muddy. I'm going to make lunch now, and then I'm heading to my sister's house. So yeah, I did my hair all cute. Pinned it back with this, can you see the back of my head, Alex, in the video?
Not right now, no.
Alex, please, because the battery's about to die.
Yeah, I can see the back of your head, yeah.
Can you see the hair clip?
I can see the hair clip here, yes.
And that's from the Kaylee Designs, I think that's what it's called. I'll link it on Etsy. It's a really lovely, can you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah, I think so. I can tap it.
It's a lovely little wildflower clip. I'm bending over. Ah. I feel like you can't see because I've buried it, but we've got loads of the Riverford lamb's lettuce, half a block of tofu, which I put loads of salt and pepper on it, so it's kind of like salt and pepper tofu with a bit of soy sauce, sweet pepper peppers from last night's pizza, tomatoes, kimchi, and then I put the wild garlic on top with some seeds. Oh, and also some red onions. I'm very excited to dig in. What a glorious salad. Oh, and also there was some leftover coriander and spring onion there. Yum! I haven't vlogged since earlier on, but I've been at my sister's house all afternoon, and I've got food on my face. I've just cooked dinner. I thought I'd show you. I've had pesto, the wild garlic pesto, for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Alex went and got some more garlic, and I've just made another batch of the pesto. I need to go there with like a bag and like make a like full jar. I have just whipped together this delicious pesto pasta with this amazing pasta shape, the sweet peppers and spinach. So this is full of so much goodness, and I made a huge batch of it. I made like a whole bag of pasta's worth so that I can have it tomorrow potentially for dinner as well. We'll see how I go, but I'm gonna dig in. I can't wait. Look at that. Oh my god. I've just noticed that they're matching. Alex has made pita breads, look. Oh my gosh. Alex loves a pita and a hummus. Well, if you master the pita, you then need to master the hummus. Because it's so much cheaper and more delicious at home.
Better recipe than the one I used last time.
What recipe is it?
It was just BBC Good Food. It was like super simple.
Do you know what? BBC Good Food is just fantastic. I use that for the wild garlic pesto.
Yes.
Like, you can't beat it.
I could just tell it was simple. Whereas I like it's maybe not as traditional. I used like the Paul Hollywood one last time, and it was like, this just didn't work. It was like puffing it up in a pan, like one at a time in a hot.
But I think that obviously, I mean, it's BBC, so they pay a lot of money to have that be a thing, and now I feel like the point is it's appealing to the general public who just want to make it at home easily.
Yeah. Which
I think is literally the point sometimes. If you want to learn to do something, just start with the simple thing, and then you can establish it over time.
And you can get better as you go, yeah.
Well, that's delish. Look at that. Look at these. Oh my gosh, how cute. I love my husband. And this is the loaf he made the other day. Everyone keeps asking me where the recipe for this loaf of bread is. I'll link a video that we did, I think 2 Vlogmases ago, where we go step by step. Alex does now do it in a like big pot. So we've got the Le Creuset, I think that they're called Dutch ovens in America. So these big Le Creuset pots, but whatever pot you have, you can cook it in there. He uses this to shape it to make that style. I think what he does after proving the bread is he'll flour this, put it in there, and then do the second proof in here so it shapes it, and then transfers it into this pan and then cooks it in that pan. And then I think in the last 5 minutes he takes the lid off so that it gets crusty and brown on top, and that is how he makes this bread. But you can also just make it like in a loaf tin or just loose on a baking tray. It just varies the shape. But my best recommendation is just to get my book and follow that recipe and just keep making bread, because then you can learn new recipes, try new techniques, and give different things a go. But Alex has been making bread since the pandemic and adjusted the kind of different ones he's used, and this is the one that he finds the easiest. And it is no oil, no sugar, and super simple. I think basically he's similar to me in mindset about cooking, and that he kind of cut out the rubbish and made it basic and simple, and it tastes delicious. And now he's moving on to things like pittas, and I really want him to get into sourdough. I've said he needs to follow Imi, Sustainably Vegan's sourdough, because he said he saw that pop up, and learn how to do that, because that would be amazing. Now, my skin is unhappy with me today. I'm not sure what I've done to it. Potentially one of the products I'm using. I find if I use Skin and Me and then I use other things in the morning, my skin is not happy. But also I did run out of the cleanser I was using, so I was using something different. So it could be literally as simple as that. But I've got like a few breakouts and like redness. Do you know what? I think it's probably just the fact that I've run out of that cleanser. I'm using something different. I need to order. In fact, I'm going to do that this afternoon. Order a new cleanser. I'm going to go in the garden. It keeps raining on and off like yesterday, but I'm going to get in the garden because it's going to rain on and off anyway. It's Sunday, and I was going to, like, because it was raining today, I was like, oh, let's go in the spare bedroom because we've got loads of stuff in there that needs to be sold that we just haven't got round to selling. And I just think we need to make a decision about what we're selling and do it or donate it, because it's pointless. It's sitting there. So I'm going to go in the garden because it's not pouring with rain, which it very well may do for the rest of the week. So any glimpse of sunshine, if it's showering, is something. Not sure if I'm going to do the veg beds, because I did a lot of that yesterday. And one thing I'm thinking about the garden to keep me motivated is to do what I fancy doing. So what I fancy doing is sorting out the front of the house, and maybe even getting the sander out and sanding some of the wood on the office, because that's a project that I really do want to get done, because we did some testers and it looks like a patchwork kind of scenario. I want to sand it down, get the primer on and get a base coat on, and then we can contact someone to sort out the gutters, because the gutters all need redoing because they're all funny, and get someone to sort the door, and then we can do like the final finishing touches. But at the very least it will look like I've painted it, so it hasn't got this kind of like patchwork effect, and it will look a little bit neater. So we'll see. I'm just going to go to the front, do some tidying, do some sorting, and maybe I'll get some equipment out. Maybe I won't. We've got other things that I can just potter around and do and listen to a podcast. So the heavens opened. But I moved the furniture here, which is way better because in the spring, summer when it's not raining, it's literally just here. We really need some covers for this furniture because I'm worried it's like ruining the wood. So maybe that's something I could sit down and do now. But we have this like blow up hot tub that we're thinking we can put over there outside the office. Originally I was against it because I didn't like the look of it because it's like a plastic hot tub, like an inflatable one. But that's just me being silly. I can make it look fine by putting like some pots of plants and maybe a table and kind of make it look deliberate. But it's better for it to be there than at the bottom of the garden. You can see it there, rotting the grass. But I love the way that this looks. It's kind of making me excited for spring if it wasn't raining. I actually really don't mind gardening in the rain. I actually find it quite relaxing, but I got to the point where I was just getting too soaking wet. So I had to stop. But if it's just like a small sort of drizzle, I actually quite like it. But yeah, it's raining a bit too much. So I think that's a message to say go inside. So I'm gonna just figure out something else to do. I don't know. The world is my oyster. Blue skies. Doesn't this look lovely here though? This is how we had it before we did the patio. I'll insert a picture of, I think, the first spring we were here, where the wisteria was the most beautiful it's ever been, and I'm really hoping this year it's going to be similar because we've trimmed it properly. And the seats were here, and also all the roses were behind. We're going to move the roses back. I'm really regretful that I moved them. We moved them down here on the terrace. Trellis, not terrace, trellis. And I want to move them back. They may die, and if they do, I can plant new ones. But yeah, that's the next job, is remove that trellis and figure out what to do with that. Clematis. Probably need to do that quite soon because it's only going to get more buried in there. What I'm thinking though is you could, I feel like you could save the plant by like cutting apart the trellis. So like the main sections, you could just saw it off and reattach this somewhere else. Like I'm thinking on here, like plant it in the corner here so it can go over here, or around the front. Where does it start? Please give me advice, tips, thoughts. So this is the beginning of it. So it's not massive in terms of like the base of it. Is that going to be really complex to just, I don't know. It's just such a beautiful big plant to get rid of. I just couldn't. I think we just have to take it apart bit by bit and see how we go, and it would have to be a labour of love separating it from this. Unless, because I actually hate these sleepers visible. Unless we just moved those pieces of trellis in front of this, so like, and built it in and cut them to the size there so that it has something to attach to, and so it's less like a big slab of wood. Let me know what you think. So this is the before, not looking great. We're using the car thing to see if that will help get a lot of the rubbish off. This is something we've been putting off, so I had the urge, so I think if you've got the urge, you should just do it.
Might not be soapy enough.
What's in there?
Washing up liquid.
Maybe just put more in?
Yeah, can do.
Yeah, I reckon, let me show, I can't, my feet. There might be some damage that is unrepairable, but also you might be surprised, it might all come off, who knows. So we've been very productive. We have cleaned the hot tub as much as possible. We've just laid these out to dry. We've got some more work to do tomorrow. Basically the hot tub does have quite a lot of mold and mildew still on it, so we need to take off the main cover and then like clean underneath, and it will just have to do. We'll just do our best. It's our fault for leaving it out, and maybe over time we can just clean it more regularly, and over time it will get cleaner and the stains will slowly come out. But these two are looking quite good, but now we've got space for it at this end of the garden, so you can pop it here, put some plants, maybe a little table to put your drink, and make it look like it's kind of like designed to be there. But I'm loving how this looks here. When we get the cushions out, I need to get some proper covers for these because, like I said, I don't want to worry about ruining it. But yeah, I just feel like the patio is actually like coming together now, and my next thing I really want to do, because I think that these are just those horrible orange plants are everywhere in Cornwall, and I think that they've just infiltrated my flower bed and I really don't want them to take over. So I think I need to pick those out. I think, please let me know if you think there's something different, but I'll put a picture of what I mean. I forget the name always, but the next thing is I really want to fill this out. Our hydrangeas did not really survive, and I don't really know why. They were fine here. I planted these last year. These ones are fab. They're looking good. But these ones, I don't know. I just think I need to like fill this properly because it's not full enough. And throughout winter I want it to be full. So yeah, this project continues. Maybe I need to do a bit more research, and yeah, I just need to be busy and full and look lovely. But it's very nice to see things coming together, like seeing our lovely furniture and the lovely pots. Like, these are my favourite thing in the world. All the pots on the back step with our herbs. These I got from Facebook for our wedding. They have smashed though because of the wind this winter. They've fallen over and we need to replace the glass. Got a watering can. Still got the ladder here because we need to hook this bit of wisteria up. Our lovely table. This we need to power wash. We did you'll see the difference. Look at the chairs over here compared to these. They're really green, so we need to power wash that. And then my little potting table, which I need to sort. These this is a funny story. This is like me giving up on something. We had all of these bulbs from a big pot that we just had bulbs of them everywhere because of them being here when we moved in, and I just popped them all in here without putting soil in them, left them, and they've all grown with no soil. So I guess they survived pretty well. So I need to separate them out. Maybe that's something I could do this week with you in the next vlog, is I need to separate them all out into different pots and they can live. I can do like maybe like a little lasagna of different things, and they need to just live somewhere around. Maybe I could put a couple on the back step, maybe some here, some over here. But yeah, the plants that we did last year, I didn't actually vlog this, but they've done really well. Me and my dad did this, and they've done so well. They just look so good, and hopefully they'll thrive in the summer. And then in the summer we can actually properly maybe dry out these seats and line them a bit better, so that they're, or cover them so that they're, and varnish them as well, so that they don't get too warped. But yeah, very grateful for our beautiful patio. And this is how much wild garlic I managed to collect. It's all been soaking, so we can make a massive batch of pesto.